over, but that is not stopping from parents from lying about their kids' age to get them vaccinated. The state health department says they are aware of it and say it would be a medical mistake. But as Brent Cass from our sister station tells us, doctors say vaccinating those under the age of 12 could have some very serious consequences.
Well, ahead of this school year, parents want to do everything they can to keep their kids safe against the threat of COVID-19, with some going as far as to falsify documents at their local pharmacy against a strong warning from doctors.
I don't know if anxious is the right word, but we're beyond ready.
Julie Lambert in Berkeley is ready for her 8-year-old and 11-year-old to get the COVID-19 vaccine. She was hoping to have them vaccinated before school starts this month, but authorization for their age group is still underway.
It sucks. I wish that it were happening sooner.
Pfizer says they plan to submit their data by the end of September, and Moderna says they plan to follow close behind. Then it would be up to the FDA, then the CDC, to grant emergency use.
As soon as there's any sort of indication that my older child or both of them would be eligible, we will be all over it.
But some parents are tired of waiting. Instead, they're going into their local pharmacy and lying about their kid's age to get them the vaccine.
Have you ever thought about going into the pharmacy with your 11-year-old and just saying that he's 12?
I just feel like it's not the right thing to do. I would not do it.
The state health department says they have heard about this happening occasionally, but don't know how often, adding that each instance should be reported to the CDC VAERS system. We combed through the VAERS data ourselves and quickly found more than a dozen reports about this happening in Michigan. According to this report from June, a parent lied about their child's age at a vaccine clinic. Another report from July shows a mother admitted to lying only after the child's doctor's office notified the pharmacy. And in some cases, like this report from May, the insurance company flagged the pharmacy. But the parents still insisted their child was 12 until later claiming they found the child's birth certificate and made a mistake.
On one hand, again, I understand that parents are scared, but I think they're putting their children at risk.
Dr. Rudolph Valentini is the chief medical officer for the Detroit Medical Center and a board-certified pediatrician. He says a child's immune system is more sensitive, and the COVID vaccine dose currently being studied in children is smaller than what is given today at the pharmacy.
The standard adult dose, that's the one that's been tested and proven safe in 12 and up, is potentially dangerous to be given to a 10-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 6-year-old where it has not been studied.
While the process is moving slower than many parents may like, Dr. Valentini urges patience, adding with children, these kinds of studies take time.
It's a rigorous process. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't just go like that and say, approve it.
Meanwhile, Julie is getting ready to send her kids back to school in a mask, which is required by her district, hoping she can add another layer of protection as soon as possible.
Hearing all these stories about districts already back and optional masking and just how pervasive the Delta variant is, I am disappointed, but I understand there isn't a whole lot that we can do.
The state health department says that pharmacists should be double checking the birth date provided by parents with the birth date in the statewide vaccination database. They should do that before vaccination. However, the department has told us in the past that access to that database may not be available until after the vaccine is given. Now, as far as a punishment for those parents, the State Department says they are not aware of any penalties.
Thank you, Brett. There's some new info about booster shots for everyone already vaccinated against COVID. The White House COVID Task Force will be announcing tomorrow more details, but here's what we know so far. Everyone who has gotten a 2-dose vaccine will be recommended to get a booster 8 months after their last dose. Jim Kurtzner from our sister station is here now to tell us why this will be recommended to everyone, not just the immunocompromised.
Two reasons for this. The vaccines lose effectiveness over several months. Studies from Israel, the first country to get vaccinated, and the Delta variant, stronger, and it spreads easier. The boosters are needed to build antibodies.
The boosted population was 2 times at a lower risk to develop COVID infection as compared to those who had received 2 doses. So they have some good data that has been shared through the Israel's government.
Many people will be surprised this is happening now rather than getting a booster around a year after getting the vaccine. Booster still needs approval from the FDA. That is expected and would likely be available starting late next month. Boosters will be given first on a priority basis to healthcare workers, first responders, nursing home residents, then the general population. The Delta variant is stronger, spreads easier, and a stronger vaccine response is needed. Medical experts say this is no different than getting boosters each flu season.
We get boosters for influenza every year, don't we? Why do we get that? It's just because the virus, influenza virus, also undergoes mutations, and we try to play catch with it.
There are plenty of people who will take this. Here we go again, playing a guessing game with our lives.
A lot of confusion gets sown in the media, and I think it's not helping us come to clear recommendations. My recommendations for folks that I see are clear. Do it.
It's not that science is changing, it's that science is doing what science does, which is doing the experiments, getting the data, getting the results.
More on all of this will be coming tomorrow from the White House task force and from President Biden. The White House knows they need to sell this and roll it out smoothly.
We understand it's going to take a significant operational focus, educational focus, and PR focus to get the information out once it's finalized.
This does not affect the Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine. Studies are still underway to see if a booster is needed for those.
COVID is making consumers cautious again. I'm Jerry Willis with the Fox Business Network. More coming up.
Fox 47 wants to hear from you. Send us a news tip or connect with us on social. Welcome back. You're watching Fox 47 News at 10.
Stocks slide a bit following the release of some disappointing retail numbers. Jerry Willis with the Fox Business Network has the details in this edition of Fox Means Business.
Consumers cutting back as COVID cases rise. Retail sales falling more than 1% in July from the previous month. The drop was much bigger than analysts were expecting. A lot of shopping was dampened by worries about the Delta variant and also because government stimulus dried up. Investors were disappointed by the disappointing retail number. The Dow and S&P 500 fell from the record highs and closed lower Tuesday. The Nasdaq finished down too. Not a good sign for the housing market. The National Association of Home Builders says home builder sentiment just fell to its lowest level in more than a year. High prices for materials are making homes more expensive, and that's impacting buyer demand. In addition to all that, contractors are also dealing with a labor shortage. And rising COVID cases are impacting how kids will get to school this year. A new survey from Cars.com finds most parents, 54%, plan to drive their children to school themselves rather than to send them on the school bus. That's business. I'm Jerry Willis.
I've got your forecast, everybody. Taking it to the RPM model, picking it up later on tonight, just before midnight here. And there will be some scattered clouds out and about, but any colors of green showing up, those are false echoes. So no rainfall overnight tonight. We'll begin the day on Wednesday, partly sunny. The model has a lot of clouds out there. I think there will be clouds, but likely some weaknesses or breaks in the clouds through the morning and afternoon. So call it partly sunny on average. Temperatures will rebound back into the middle 80s. Going to go with a high of about 84 degrees on Wednesday. Could pop an afternoon shower for somebody going into the evening, but coverage would be very light. Same story for Thursday. Here we are the morning into the afternoon. It'll really be the afternoon, the heating of the day, when we may get a shower for a few locations. So be aware that there could be a little wetness, but it would be brief if it did occur. And most of us, I think, staying dry right on through Friday. Better chance for some showers, maybe a couple thunderstorms later at night on Saturday as a cold front works through. Not real cold behind it, though. Still in the mid-80s early next week.
With more students across the country returning to the classroom, battles over masks in schools continue to rage on. Still, top U.S. health officials say masking is key to keeping kids safe. But which masks are best for kids? Mandy Gaither asked the experts that very question and has more.
For millions of students and teachers, the beginning of the school year is spelling out chaos with quarantines, temporary closures, and moves to remote learning as COVID-19 cases climb.
Talking about flying blind relative to children, we need better data, and that's got to be the basis for action.
Admiral Brett Giroir, former coronavirus testing czar under President Donald Trump, says less than half of U.S. states report the number of children hospitalized for COVID-19. Because of that, he says the state-reported numbers are unknown in some places where children's hospitals are seeing a rise in cases.
We have a raging pandemic, and we do know with good data that if children wear masks in school, they can be safe.
So which mask is best for your child? A pediatrician says one they will wear.
If your child has been wearing a mask that they love for the last year and it still fits them well with that little nasal bridge that you can pinch down and there's no gaps on the sides and it curves under their chin.
The CDC says the best masks are those made for children, and the fit should be tested regularly to make sure it fits snugly and completely covers the child's nose and mouth with at least 2 layers of washable, breathable fabric.
If you can send a few with your child every day, wash them all at the end of the day, and I think that's sort of a good routine to get in the habit of.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A new Axios poll of over 1,000 U.S. adults shows nearly 70% of Americans support local school districts requiring everyone to wear masks while they're in school. The Biden administration is standing by its decision to withdraw from Afghanistan despite the Taliban quickly toppling the country's government. We'll have the latest on that situation there and the long history of major powers failing to change the country.
Fox 47 News at 10 will be right back. Here's what's making headlines across the nation.
President Joe Biden's national security advisor is now speaking out about the ongoing evacuation of American citizens and Afghan allies stranded in the country as reaction is pouring in about how the White House handled the troop withdrawal and the subsequent collapse of the Afghan government. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera is in Washington with more.
We have communicated to the first tranche of American citizens who have requested evacuation assistance.
As the U.S. races to evacuate thousands of Americans and Afghans, the White House is under pressure to make sure they leave safely. The Biden administration now holding the Taliban to its promise of protection.
We will, of course, be looking for one thing and one thing only, and that is follow through.
Questions are growing over how the U.S. withdrawal was carried out. The Biden team now planning to hold a review of the pullout once evacuations are complete, even as they insist they didn't rule out a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan.
There have been questions raised about whether we should have drawn down our embassy and evacuated our Afghan allies earlier. These are reasonable questions.
The Taliban, meanwhile, is trying to portray a more tolerant image, saying it won't discriminate against women and won't seek retribution.
Women are an important element of the society, and we respect them.
Many view the statements with skepticism.
You're going to have a Taliban flag flying above that country. The Taliban that gave al-Qaeda safe harbor after they killed 3,000 Americans. It's an insult.
The president spoke with Prime Minister Boris Johnson on Tuesday about what's happening in Afghanistan. They agreed to hold a virtual G7 leaders meeting next week to talk about a strategy in the country moving forward. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Thank you, Madeline. The collapse of the Afghan government and the quick withdrawal by the U.S. is adding to the country's reputation as the, quote, graveyard of empires. That's because many countries have tried invading Afghanistan and have failed, going all the way back to the Mongols in the 13th century. Joe St. George is here now with more.
It is a country located over 7,000 miles away from the United States, Afghanistan, and while the images from Kabul and elsewhere have been shocking, from a historical standpoint, what's happened in this Southwest Asian country is not entirely a surprise. The country has been nicknamed the graveyard of empires by historians, based on the fact that many foreign powers have tried to change it over the years, with most failing. In 1221, Genghis Khan, the legendary leader of the Mongol Empire, lost his grandson in a battle in Afghanistan. Great Britain tried 3 separate times to invade the country between 1839 and 1919. Each time, even after early successes, they failed, losing to Afghan tribesmen. In one battle alone, 16,000 British troops and civilians were killed. The British retreat from Kabul was nicknamed the disaster in Afghanistan. The Soviet Union tried to conquer it from 1979 through 1989. It again ended in defeat. Over 15,000 Soviet Union troops were killed. In fact, in 1963, British Prime Minister Harold Macmillan declared, "Rule number 1 in politics, never invade Afghanistan."
So why has Afghanistan perplexed so many foreign powers over the centuries? There may be more than one answer. Some historians say that local tribesmen are fiercely loyal to one another. Others point to the fact that Afghanistan has harsh winters and mountainous conditions that eventually wear down their adversaries.
The truth is, this did unfold more quickly than we had anticipated.
However you define what's happened in the last few days in Afghanistan, for President Biden, it represents his greatest foreign policy challenge yet since taking office. But he doesn't appear to be changing his mind about withdrawing American troops. As a result, the United States is joining a long history of foreign powers failing to change Afghanistan. Over the last 20 years, 2,400 plus American soldiers were lost. More than 20,000 Americans were injured. And the Taliban is now back in charge. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
The Biden administration says it will assist Haiti in its recovery from a devastating earthquake that left over 1,000 people dead. That recovery is now even more difficult after Tropical Depression Grace ravaged the country. Fox News correspondent Brian Yennis joins us with the latest on that situation.
There are pockets of rubble and devastation throughout Lakai. The city near the epicenter of the earthquake is still standing, but that matters little to those who've lost it all. 17-year-old Sterlina Moise lost her home. She woke up to the tremors and as she ran for her life, fell and hit her face. This is what's left of Avril Nestle's furniture business. 10 people were injured. Remarkably, no one died. He says he has no idea what he's going to do, but he has to survive. Dump trucks and volunteers are sorting through mounds of concrete debris left from collapsed hotels. 3 days after the quake, the cleanup is really just beginning. This is what's left of the Le Monge Hotel. They are cleaning up as well as recovering the bodies of those who died. More than 30,000 families are now homeless. We visited a soccer field where families are sleeping on the turf, their temporary shelters made of tarps and wooden sticks, washed away during last night's tropical storm. This mother says she's been here since Saturday waiting for help. Parents frustrated it hasn't arrived.
The situation is very hard for me. I have a lot of children with me and we are in the rain. I don't even have a piece of plastic to cover us to sleep.
161 people have taken up shelter inside the Mormon church, crammed into a room on the floor in the midst of a pandemic. Our crew and I flew into Lakai on board a U.S. Coast Guard helicopter carrying supplies. Local gangs make it difficult to travel by road.
Gangs are controlling movements. Local authorities are negotiating access.
The hospitals in Lakai remain in dire need of supplies, bandages, saline, and antibiotics. The fear now is infection for the more than 6,900 wounded in Haiti.
When those skin wounds open, they're exposed to bacteria and infections set in usually 3 or 4 days later, and those potential infections could be lethal.
Haiti is the poorest country in the Americas. There are food and supply shortages on a good day, yet Haiti's prime minister is promising to speed up the distribution of aid. In Lakai, Haiti, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Stay with us for continuing coverage on air and online at fox47news.com.
47 News is sponsored by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Beautify your home with barn door updates from Menards. Expect great quality with Colonial Elegance barn doors. Find something unique to your style with our beautiful selection of ready-to-finish and pre-finished barn doors. Add security and style with quick set lock sets, like the Smart Code electronic lever with Smart Key security. Or choose from over 90 quick set lock sets in store or online. All quick set lock sets and Colonial Elegance barn doors are 11% off now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Sparrow Medical Minute, the latest health news and information from Sparrow, Mid-Michigan's healthcare leader.
I'm Cheryl Fritz here with Dr. Tyson Burkhart, Medical Director, Neurophysiology at Sparrow Hospital. Many people may not realize Sparrow has an epilepsy monitoring unit. Tell us about that.
So we have a 6-bed for adults and 3-bed for pediatrics unit in which we admit folks so that we can see where their seizures are coming from over the brain. So this is an admission where they actually have seizures induced.
What does this mean for patients?
For patients who cannot get seizure freedom using medications alone, which is around 1/3 of all patients, it allows us to be able to localize the onset of seizures so that we can think about surgical options for treatment.
Where can people get more information?
They can get more information from their regular physician as well as from the Sparrow website.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Medical Minute, brought to you by Sparrow. For health, for care, for life.
Hey Lansing, here's how to take your recycling up a notch. Please don't recycle plastic bags curbside. For plastic, if it's not a bottle, jug, or container, then don't recycle it curbside. And finally, do not bag your recyclables. Learn more at recyclingraccoons.org/Lansing.
Drive home in a certified pre-owned vehicle today from Shaheen Chevrolet. Our certified pre-owned vehicles include 172 multi-point vehicle inspection, 12 months or 12,000 miles of bumper-to-bumper coverage. And most importantly, peace of mind, knowing if you don't love it, you can return it, even after you drive it home. Purchase with confidence from Shaheen Chevrolet and experience the Shaheen difference, where you can shop in person or reserve your next vehicle online at ShaheenChevrolet.com. And like Ralph always says, why would you go anywhere else?
At Culver's, we never tire of crafting fresh frozen custard right in our restaurants.
As soon as I'm like, who wants Culver's custard? The kids are already running out the door.
Hello, everybody. Here's your custard. Always rich and creamy, always sure to put a smile on your face.
It's more than just a special treat. It's creating memories with my children and family time.
Is it really good?
Yeah.
Family time is custard time. Welcome to Delicious.
Hi, I'm Hardy with Streamline Enterprises. Because we've been in business for 19 years, 50% of our work comes from repeat customers or referrals, like this job we're doing here today in East Lansing. No compromises with Streamline Enterprises.
Welcome back. You're watching Fox 47 News at 10.
The number of veterans experiencing homeless spiked again in 2020. Now, this comes after almost a decade of decreases. Pandemic funding helped to establish some programs to combat this issue, but now Alexa Liaco found that money is running out just as the program started to show some signs of success.
To all of us, home is where the heart is.
Kind of my favorite right here.
But for veteran Alex Abeda, home is, well, you get it.
It's just so relaxing with cows.
His utter fascination with cow decor.
I don't know what it is. It's like an addiction to cows now.
A reward for hard work.
You earn it. That's special, you know. And from having nothing, you know, to building it back up and it's even better.
Just a few months ago, this Army veteran.
I did 3 years in the military, United States Army.
Had almost nothing to his name.
And I came out here with less than $100 and a backpack full of clothes, and I had to leave everything. So it was devastating.
He was about to start a new job last February in Las Vegas, but the pandemic eliminated his position before he could start.
I was always responsible, always had a job. And this pandemic really, you know, just upside down.
He couldn't get unemployment assistance, and in just a matter of months, Alex was on the streets.
I didn't want to be homeless, you know, and the pain and the suffering, you know, even for that little bit of time. I didn't want to be there.
He took a bus home to Colorado, hoping he'd find help.
I found myself downtown Denver and with my luggage, and I didn't know what to do. I felt uncomfortable. I felt ashamed.
After weeks of bouncing from place to place,
I stood at a park for a couple nights.
He made it to a shelter in Boulder and connected with Homes for All veterans.
Every veteran has the right to safe, permanent housing.
The program got emergency funding from the CARES Act to put homeless veterans in motels through COVID-19. They helped hundreds of families with temporary housing.
They had a place to sleep, a place to feel safe.
Alex was able to stay in a motel for 3 months to get back on his feet.
The motel was like that was like, wow. That's a game changer right there. It was like 2 weeks, I got a job right away.
In just a short time, he's built this home, something that would have been hard to do without the emergency funding.
Where would I be? Where would I be, you know? Living in a tent in a park somewhere, or, you know?
Many veterans found themselves in similar situations, homeless because of COVID-19. But now the funding for these emergency programs is running out.
It wasn't meant to be permanent.
Stephen Shaughnessy of Homes for All Veterans says he's working to make the funding permanent.
Setting the pandemic aside, which was the reason why this was, available, I think that it would still be a beneficial opportunity for individuals.
For Alex, it was more than an opportunity. It was a chance for a whole new life.
I owe it to myself, but I give the gratitude I owe it to them for helping me, giving me that support. That little bit of support is so important.
One he hopes other vets will get the chance to have too.
There's support out there for us. If a vet's homeless, then seek it. It's out there.
I'm Alexa Liaco reporting.
All right, we're getting going with this forecast here, everybody. Late this evening, midnight calling for 72 degrees still, partly cloudy skies, and a variably cloudy sky overnight, ranging from partly to perhaps at worst mostly cloudy skies. Readings will drop into the mid-60s tonight. We've had a heightened level of humidity today, so that means that temperatures tonight are not going to be getting as cool here to begin the day on Wednesday. We'll already rebound back into the lower 70s at 9 a.m. Call it partly sunny for tomorrow. There will be a fair amount of clouds out there, but I think enough weaknesses or breaks in the cloud deck to certainly call it partly sunny. Mid-80s again on Thursday. Now you see these lightning strikes, and that's to account for a shower, perhaps a thunder shower for a couple locations. Coverage is going to be quite light, though, through Thursday and Friday. Most locations, I think, staying dry, but there is this prospect for a shower, thunder shower in the heating of the day. Mid to upper 80s Friday and Saturday. A little bit cooler by Sunday and Monday. Humidity is going to be quite high. Eventually a cold front, though, Saturday night that brings in some scattered showers and thunderstorms. That'll take some of the humidity away by early next week, but still warm in the low to mid 80s.
Start your day with the latest forecast sent straight to your phone. Just download the Fox 47 News app and sign up for our push alerts. We'll send the forecast each morning so you can plan your day.
City of Lansing presents the 2021 edition of Concerts in the Park. Enjoy free live music from a different band in a different venue every Wednesday from 7 to 9 all summer long. So grab family or friends and head to the park. This is a concert series you won't want to miss.
Flagstar Bank believes in something called the human interest rate. It inspires Flagstar's checking account solutions with access to 56,000 fee-free ATMs. Solutions that have made us one of America's best banks according to Forbes. Flagstar Bank, the power of the human interest rate.
Think premium can't be capable?